Hi, gorgeous light. Spirit asked me to put a video about frustration. They're feeling how frustrated that you actually are. And I just wanted you to understand that right in the energy, right at the moment, there's two thresholds that your frustration is coming from. Now, when you're getting frustrated with people around you for their behaviour, how they're turning up, and your frustration is directed externally, they want you to understand your frustration is actually with other people's behaviour because it is actually a reflection of your own impatience and frustration with your own self. Now, there is no degree of separation. We only think we have a degree of separation. And we think we have a degree of separation because you've incarnated into a singular body, Spirit says. But within the life force that generates within the singular body is your connectivity to the entire universe, the whole of humanity, and this is just an illusion. Now, before, it was making me laugh because, they were showing me where people can turn around and go, but I'm a completely separate person from that. Yes, you are a completely separate person of a piece of the whole of humanity that's having an individualized experience, but is still connected to the whole. And the frustration at a collective consciousness level can come in, and that's a secondary piece, can come in and affect you just bringing in a collective frustration, because at a soul level, our souls are wanting the planet to be further ahead, further along than what it is. But I have to say to you right at the moment, put it this way, at a collective consciousness level, all our limiting beliefs, the programming that you got from your parents, everything like that is under a tremendous amount of reworking right at the moment. This frustration that you're actually feeling is your frustration levels and your impatience. Spirit have been telling me all morning that impatience on the earth plane at the moment is undermining the truth of what you're trying to accomplish, because they put it this way: you learn to ride a bike and you fall off lots of times, and your determination gets you back on, and you learn to ride a bike that way. For each person, it is individualized. Some person might take longer, some person might take sooner, but it's at the point of your evolutionary growth. However, the point that they're making is you can't rush that process. You have got to stop, pause, be fully present in understanding the singular process if you want to create a degree of separation. Your stuff, what you learned from your perspective, your piece of Play-Doh, and the way that you're experientially experiencing your story, your life, that is uniquely up to you. It is your evolutionary pathway. And here's the kicker, guys. It's a free choice realm. So if the person that you care about, whether it's a colleague, whether it's a loved one, whether it's a partner, children, whatever, it's their free choice whether they investigate their own selves, how they feel, and try and work it out. So we have this degree of separation going on between people going, I want that person to wake up, and over here I want that person going, I want that person to stop annoying me, stay asleep, and it's all perfectly perfect, exactly the way that it actually is. But your frustration levels are saying it should be different, it should be easier, it should be this, it should be that, and your impatience and intolerance is making you see that frustration or feel that, experience that frustration in every single act. And Spirit wants to remind you, and they say this to me, and they've said this to me for years, and every time it still cracks me up. And they started saying it to me when I was about 16 years old, which was would you smack a puppy? And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't hit a puppy, that's really horrible. And they're like, well, think of humanity as puppies, yourself as a puppy. You are experiencing, you're trying to work out the parameters of what works for you, you're trying to work this out, you're trying to work this out, you are learning at a really, really fundamentally simple level what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You need other people to see reflections through humanity, because we're all in this together, right? We're all down here having the same experience, just different versions and different stories and different soul growth. So, you know, it's like blaming that other person for what they're showing you or what they're teaching you or where they're helping you to empower you. You've got a choice at that moment. Do you blame them for the role that they're taking, because we're all part of this big collective consciousness? We're just little facets of it, mirroring and experimenting with each other in terms to learn, to grow, to decide whether we're going to do the human experience, which it always vastly amuses me, not in an awful way, just from an observer. Human beings are amazing at taking things personally. We're really good, because we're here to learn the gauntlet of running. My guide's laughing. The gauntlet of running, you know, through this human experience and learning to navigate through human emotions, which are completely unique to the physical, and learning to do that or suppressing them and avoiding them. Now, the way that the universe works, because you're here in a teaching room and you chose to come here to be at this amazing pivotal time in history, is it going to be a bit of a roller coaster? 100%. I've already said to you, this is a refocus year. Think about a roller coaster. You have half the people on the roller coaster going, wee, this is amazing, and the other part screaming in terror. That's your choice. You get to actually decide, are you going to surrender to limiting beliefs that says that you're not always cushioned by the universe and the universe is always working for you, which, when we're human beings and we take all this personally, right, that's a really hard concept to get your head around. The universe is working for me. Twitch, twitch, twitch. I don't think so. I feel really picked on. Within that is a clue. If you feel really, really picked on, the emotional human part of yourself is needing to be parented. There is emotional understanding that you are gaining when you stop blaming an external circumstance that was actually there to teach you, to show you where you're growing, and actually realize that you're getting toward emotional equilibrium. And human beings, we're just like, I mean, we were like little kids in the meat suit, right? He did that, she did that, he did that. And forgetting, you know, that the universe is working for you to show you your growth, to empower you, to help you become everything that you need to experience in your soul journey on this life path, which is intense, don't get me wrong. And before anyone comes at me and goes, it's okay for you, getting this information and knowing where you come from, guess what? I got that information by doing it the hard way, exactly the same way that people were in it. I have an agreement with Spirit, I've had it my entire life, to do all the yucky stuff, do what we consider the yucky stuff, which really isn't. It's just experience, so that you can choose what serves you and what doesn't serve you from your soul's perspective. But I agreed that. So I've had some very, very intense experiences. Part of my soul journey, just to share it with you, is I have a big soul contract with myself for abandonment, rejection, and betrayal. So I have had lots of people betray me. I've had lots of people reject me. And I have had lots of people abandon me. And the human part of me really wants to wallow in self-pity about that, because it would be not easy, but it's familiar, because that's what I know. And sometimes we hold on to stories that have already happened that were really detrimental, because that's way easier to feel like it's always going to go pear-shaped, because at least you know what that is, to have the faith and the hope and the understanding and the trust in yourself and the universe to keep going, to be persistent. And I think I saw something on TikTok this morning, and it was very, very clever. And it was very much about, you know, we have all this stuff that we learned along the way. Might be parental programming, might be childhood stuff, might be inner child stuff, might be all of this stuff. But as you get to certain levels, as your soul's trying to break free from that, and you remember who you are and come back to the real you, you have to process all this other stuff that has happened, and let it come up and sit in the uncomfortability of it. And I've had many times over my life where I've just sat on my bed and just absolutely wailed in self-pity and said this isn't fair, all of those sorts of things. None of the things that you get to see me do when I'm doing videos like this. But the point is that we're in it together. We're in it together. And we've always been in it together. And the one thing that I promised is I would try and help people to understand what's happening. So this frustration that you're in is part of your evolution. And it isn't doing the human thing and going, well, I'll just sit in it, I'll be frustrated then. You are learning to reparent yourself. You're learning to understand that it's a process. Surrender to the process. Let the little epiphanies come in. Let the understanding come in. It is a roller coaster year. You can be terrified and the universe will keep showing you your fears until you embrace them and love yourself enough to go, do you know what? The universe has got my back. I do not need to fear this, but I need to reparent myself in this process without frustration, with love and compassion and empathy. The same with patience and resilience. It takes you to teach a puppy, because puppies don't learn in 5 seconds flat. And actually, none of us learn in 5 seconds flat. But cutting yourself some slack for it, it's incredibly important that you actually do that and give this understanding back to you and stop rushing. If you stop rushing through it and you sit in the uncomfortability of it, which doesn't stay uncomfortable, by the way, it's the fighting with it that's making you uncomfortable. So, you know, even up till like a couple of months ago, I was in my head going, this isn't right. And my heart's going, God, can you let this go? Up, down, seesaw. Everybody's doing the same thing, guys. We're just not talking about it. We're just not talking about it. So I think it's this lovely guy who has been making me laugh all morning at myself. She's been making me laugh at myself. Said, please put up a video about frustration. You are nailing it in terms, if you are looking at yourself, oh my gosh, can you congratulate yourself on your incredible, amazing courage that it is taking you to, you know, to look at yourself, to try and work with yourself, to step away from conflict energy and step into the collective healing which you're helping to do for the entire earth plane. Go you, you're a legend. But reparenting yourself is really hard. You know, you can say, I know I have self-sabotage threads because of abandonment, rejection and betrayal that inadvertently sets me up to look at the layers and the layers and layers of reinforced belief structures I put in place over my time on the earth plane. And I have to undo every single one of them. I'm not going to go, I don't want to do this. I'm going to go, okay, do you know what? I'm not doing them all in their entirety because I can't rush them, and I'm not going to see them. They're coming up as they're meant to come up. They're hatching up as they're supposed to give me room and time and love and compassion and empathy. And Elisa's just said, on that note, can you please forget time? And I don't mean in a, I'm not going to work because I don't care, I'm forgetting time. Not in that way. As in forget putting a timeline on yourself, because it's you're trying to control the situation. Let gentle understanding as you work with yourself as a kind person and compassionate person. And I love that. She's just said, be the compassion that you wish that you had received. Be the love to yourself that you wish that you had received. Be everything in its entirety. And remember that you're rescuing yourself, which sounds kind of weird, but we're all tired of the mental loading. We're all tired of being bogged down by responsibilities that we thought we had to take as part of our story, but it turns out that if we keep turning up taking responsibility for the entire world, you're just going to get learning around it when you have to pull back and go, do you know what, I'm going to start with me first. Start a little step, start with me first, and I'm going to empower me into my processes as I keep going forward with this is who I need to be. So, exactly, thank you, Elise. She's just said, can you let frustration be your guide? Let frustration show you the aspects of what you need to heal. And if that person's being a colossal plonker towards you and you're getting frustrated with them not listening, Why are you not listening to you? If you're getting frustrated with how judgmental they are, why are you being so judgmental to you? Get underneath what you're being shown, guys. Step back a little bit. Put yourself in the role of the observer and go, okay, I'm being shown something here. It's a gift from the universe. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm going to step back and see what's going on. If you've got people around you who are deceitful, then understand it's not you, but you're not being shown that you're deceitful. Yeah, in a way. You're being shown where you are kind of deceiving your own self by not being honest about who you want to be. And we all do this in situations, and it's so spectacularly unhealthy. We go, do you know what? Oh, Jack, can you do this? Me? No, I don't want to do that. Okay, yep, that'll be fine. That's the type of deceit that Elise is talking about. For every moment that you turn up when you truthfully don't really want to, we're undergoing this massive transformation. It's not going to be fast. If you want to continually be frustrated and carry that frustration, your physical body is going to start to suffer. You're already too tired. The tiredness is you're fighting with yourself. Start surrendering and really getting the epiphanies about what truthfully is going on. The outer reflections are only showing you what you are doing in yourself. And if you need to watch this video again and reabsorb it again, I suggest you do, because I love you to understand how pivotal and how amazing and how incredible that you are to be here at this time. But working with yourself is the key. It's 100% the key. And I tell you what, you got this, because you signed up for it and have 100% absolute faith in what you're doing and how you're here on the earth plane at this time. You're amazing.